Many anglers use electric trolling motors to fine-tune their presentation. And in just a few minutes, Tom Newbauer looks at a variety of electric motors with John Czajka. And then in an archival segment from 2002, we'll visit the workshop of chainsaw woodcarver Bob Younger. But first, I'll join Thad Groszczyk, high bidder at last year's Outdoor Wisconsin Banquet, for a Lake Michigan salmon outing with Dumper Dan Sport Fishing Charters. I'm Dan Small, and it's time once again for Outdoor Wisconsin.
Summer to fall, winter to spring, from Green Bay to where the St. Croix sings, from Kettle Moraine to Superior Shore, Outdoor Wisconsin, Outdoor Wisconsin.
We're out today on Lake Michigan off Sheboygan with Captain Dan Welch and First Mate Matt Thayer of Dumper Dan Sport Fishing Charters. And Dan, it's a beautiful day. How's the fishing been?
Fishing's been pretty good here out of the port of Sheboygan of late. We're catching some nice size Chinook king salmon here out of Sheboygan. So it's been good. So we're anticipating a good day today, and we're just getting lines set up to give it a shot.
Okay. I got to ask you, if Matt's setting lines and you're talking to me, who's driving?
We have autopilot. That's driving, so it's taking care of the boat right now. But yeah, we're going in a straight line, getting lines set, and hopefully get some bites here soon.
All right. And our special guest on this trip is Thad Groszczyk. Now, Thad bought this trip at our Outdoor Wisconsin Banquet, and Thad, you've been on many of these trips working, though.
Dan, I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. Normally, I'm in the behind the scenes here, behind the camera here, doing audio for Outdoor Wisconsin. I've been fishing with you and doing hunting and for 20-some years since you started on the show.
That's right.
So this is my opportunity to bid on the trip, and I won it. I guess I was really surprised that I got the high bid at the auction, and so here we are. I'm here with my son and John McKay, the video guy, who's normally with us shooting, but he's fishing today, and my friend Alan Blank.
Well,
so we're out for a good time out here.
I think we're going to have fun. And who's up first?
Alan's up first.
Okay. Well, Alan, get ready, and we'll start catching fish, we hope. Good to be out fishing with you, Thad.
Yes, sir. It's good to be with you.
Now, what I want you to do is just hold the rod steady for a second. Let him pull. Put your right hand right here. Try putting the butt of the rod, the very end of it, right on where your belly button or around your belt buckle. Something right about there. You can keep moving it around depending on what feels most comfortable for you. Okay. It's a bigger fish.
I'll slow it down, man. It looks like he's pulling pretty hard, so.
Okay, now start cranking again. It's pulling hard. Okay, there we go. Now this one's on a pointer board. You can see the orange board there coming up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you
it's swimming again.
That's
now.
fine. I'm gonna have you keep cranking until you get that orange board right almost up to the tip of the rod, okay? I gotta get that taken off of there, and he's behind that a ways yet. Crank down again, right there. Keep cranking, keep cranking, keep cranking. Okay, stop cranking. I'm gonna have you walk backward very slowly. Walk right back toward the bench seat back here. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking.
Fighting hard?
Not right this minute.
Now start cranking the reel and walk on back
forward.
toward me.
Crank.
No, this way. Forward. Right back to the back of the boat. Keep cranking. Keep cranking. Perfect. Doing good. He's coming right with us now.
Oh my goodness, this is
Keep cranking. Now hold her steady. Just raise the rod up. Raise it up. All right. Perfect. Yeah, go Ellen.
wow, that is a great fish.
We can tell you did a good job because the hooks fell out in the net. He was just hooked lightly. He wasn't hooked very
good.
well.
Excellent. Wow.
Excellent. Beautiful Lake Michigan king salmon.
Wow.
Hold them up. Right. Slide your hand right up in here. And pinch down right there, okay? Try not to stick your fingers out of his mouth. Perfect.
Sweet, nice work.
That's a great fish. All right.
There we go.
Not as big as Ellen's, but that's all right.
Yeah. This one was probably planted this spring, actually. Not quite as big as the last one, buddy, but it's a good eater. So.
tip is your indicator of how much pressure you're putting on that fish.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to be watching. Okay, now crank down. And as long as you keep a good consistent bend, nice even bend all the way through your fight just like that, then you're fighting them perfect. If it starts shaking, head shaking like that, that's your indicator. A lot of people can't feel it in the hands, but the rod is really bouncing. And then you just want to hold it steady and low and let him take the line if he wants to take it.
He seems to want to take it every time I go down.
Funny how that goes. Hold the rod, hold it steady. Okay. Wait till he's done thrashing. Crank. Oh, come on, fish. Lower the rod. Lower the rod. Lower the rod. Perfect. Crank down.
Whoa!
Now, okay, raise it up slow. Up slow. Oh, hold her steady. Hold him steady. Hold him steady.
I don't.
No, raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Raise it up. Hold him steady. Just wait till he's done thrashing. And up, up, up. I got him.
Yeah! Woohoo! Oh my goodness!
That's a big 20-pound king right there.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
good work.
it. Now this is some mighty fine fish.
John, that is one heck of a king.
Why, thank you.
Nice salmon. Now, you and Thad frequently have a little wager going when you're fishing. You guys got any friendly bet going on this trip?
You mean the over-under?
Yeah.
And who caught the largest fish?
Yeah.
That would be telling if he told you that.
What I'm going to have you do is, I think it's a bigger fish. If he wants to pull, just let him run and pull. And if he's just hanging there, then I'm going to have you pump him and we'll gain some line. Start raising it up.
Okay.
Raise it up.
Start cranking.
Keep coming up. Keep without cranking. Keep coming up. Keep coming up. Okay, now start cranking with the reel and lower the rod. Perfect.
How's that?
That's perfect. Absolutely.
Hold it right there.
Now, if he starts, then raise it up again. Now, if he starts to head shake and pull, then keep the rod low and let that fish run.
Right.
He's still pretty green. He only ran out maybe 100 feet or so.
Should I crank down?
Yep, go ahead and crank down. Watch your rod tip on the way down. You want to make sure that you keep a good bend in it on the way down. That means you're keeping pressure on the hook. And then lower the rod a little bit. Lower the rod. There you go.
John, I think you got a minnow compared to this one.
It's a curve. This is a nice one.
There we go, babe. Come on in. Better get the ruler out, John.
Slide over to your left. All the way over into the corner. You want to keep him away from that line. Just line. There you go. Crank down. Get ready on it. I'll tell you when. Crank down. Crank down. Don't back up yet. Stay right here. Keep cranking till you get down to the green thing. Okay, now raise it up. Raise it up and take 2 steps backward. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Nice minnow. Wow.
Oh, neat.
Big coal salmon.
You got the minnow.
Oh, a big one too. That's double booty.
You got the minnow.
Excellent. Awesome. Awesome fish.
Oh, great fish.
That's different than the kings, right, man?
That's right. Coal salmon are generally smaller than the kings. This one is about an 8-pounder.
Well, Thad, a great trip, huh?
Dan, we had a great time here. We caught, everybody caught a fish. My friend Ellen caught about 2 of them. So we had a good time out here. And we should do it again next year if we can.
Oh, that would be great.
Depends on what the bid is at the auction, I
It
guess.
means you have to come back to the banquet.
Well, I've been coming for the last couple of years, so
All
it's usually a good time.
All right, well, it's good to see you. It's good to be out here just having fun with you.
Today was a perfect day to be out here. The water's calm, the weather's just right, not much of a chop on the way and on the water, and nobody got seasick.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Ellen and John, this was your first time out on a trip like this?
Yeah, first time. It's great. It's nice to be out in the water.
Good.
And the coaching was great so that we could get the fish in the boat.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. And you know, the best part was McKay didn't give you too hard a time.
Well, he caught the biggest fish, unfortunately. I was planning.
Unfortunately.
What did you say, Thad?
Unfortunately, you got the biggest fish.
I didn't hear that. Biggest fish was that?
Yeah,
Okay.
the biggest one. The biggest one. Wait till next year.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, Dan, another great trip.
Oh, excellent.
You guys really put us on fish a little bit slow today, but you know, steady action, that's the best kind for
Oh,
TV,
exactly,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hope everybody had a good time. The weather was beautiful.
Ron Callis of Beaver Dam photographed this angler at sunset at Waterworks Park on Beaver Dam Lake in Dodge County. Send a horizontal photo of your favorite Wisconsin scene to Outdoor Wisconsin, 1036 North 8th Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin 53233, or log on to mptv.org and follow the prompts to Outdoor Wisconsin to email us your photos. Electric motors come in a variety of sizes and styles to accommodate just about every boat from a canoe to a 20-foot bass rig. Let's join Tom Newbauer and John Czajka at Anchors Away in Waukesha to learn about the different types and uses of electric motors.
If you want to be a stealthy ninja when you're fishing, an electric motor just might be the answer. Now, I'm out here with John Czajka at Anchors Away in Waukesha, Wisconsin. And John not only sells all the different electric motors, you fix them too.
Yes, we do.
Because sometimes they do break down. But what are the differences in electric motors nowadays?
Well, on a whole, there's basically three different styles of motor. You have the electric steer motors, you have the cable operated foot control motors, and then you have the bow mount hand control motors. Every one of them has a plus and a minus. The electric steers are very popular in today's pleasure market because it gives you the opportunity to turn the motor on and let it run with your foot off the pedal because the electric steering housing holds it. The cable steer motors are very popular with the bass fishermen because you have reliability and ease of steering where the foot pedal steers the motor very quickly, so you have a lot of control going in and out of piers. And then the hand control system is very popular for the guys that just want it simple.
Now, on these motors, on the electric ones, let's talk about these first. Now, these, the mounting is different than the other ones, than the cables.
It's a nice short mount, so a lot of times with boats that have a small bow, it's a very short hole pattern.
Right, and all they have to do is, like, there's usually a lever that presses down, and then the motor just comes up and then pulls back in it and locks into place. And same thing with putting it down. You know, you hit the button and it goes down. Now, this one I happen to notice, though, John, this is a forward and back electric steer versus your typical side to side. How do these work?
Well, the forward and back, again, is just the electric motor that it operates. It turns the foot pedal left and right. It's just a little easier on your foot because it's more of a natural movement to move your foot forward and back. And Coda also makes their power drive that has the side-to-side pedal, which has been out probably as long as they've been making electric steer motors. It's just, this is the basic unit. This is the
more pricey one.
Deluxe unit. It's a little bit heavier duty built. It's got more features. It's just a little bit more motor for what you're doing.
And then you've got the one with the remote here.
And then Motor Guide has come out with a cordless unit where you don't have to have a foot pedal connected to it. You can operate it from anywhere in the boat with just a little key fob. And that is something that is standard with their motor, already pre-installed. Minn Kota offers that same option as an add-on accessory with their Copilot. So both of these motors can be made cordless also. The other very popular feature that Minn Kota offers is the Autopilot. It's a feature that allows the motor to adjust for the windage and keeps you on a compass heading. And then new out for this year, Minn Kota has come out with their option called an iPilot, which they're now going to be using GPS coordinates to allow you to retrace a track. So I mean, there's a lot of features and options that you can do with this. So it's a very popular motor.
Now they also have variable speeds. They also have this right here, which will tell you
the battery indication.
The battery, you know, how much battery life you have, which is kind of nice to have.
Yeah, it's just a guideline.
It's a guideline. And now on these here, these scissor mounts are a little bit different. If you can demonstrate how one of those goes up and down.
The scissors mount is very user friendly because it pretty much is just pull the cord and lift. It comes up onto your deck, and the same thing putting it back down into the water. It's a one-handed operation. It's been out for a long time, and it's a very, very popular style of mount.
Now we've been talking about bow mounts here. And they're fairly easy to put on a boat. Any person could probably put one on, right?
Yes and no.
Some people need help. Okay, some people might need a little help.
Yes, theoretically, if the boat is designed for a trolling motor on the front of the boat, yes, it hopefully can be bolted on. The one big item that we talk to customers about is that unfortunately boat builders do not pre-rig their boats according to trolling motor specs. So one very important feature that you need to check and not assume is correct is the wire size going from your front of your boat to the back of the boat. Both Minn Kota and Motor Guide want you to have 6-gauge wire, which is it's pretty much battery cable. And the assumption that boats are wired correctly is wrong.
Is there a special battery that's needed to use an electric motor?
Well, deep cycle batteries is what is recommended because the trolling motor does not recharge the battery at all. It is a constant draw. Deep cycle batteries are designed to be drawn down slowly. You know, there's different sizes of deep cycle batteries, and basically, to keep it simple, is basically the bigger they are, the longer they last.
Right, because a starting battery gives you a lot of amps at once to start the outboard.
Very high output for a very small amount of time, where a trolling battery, a deep cycle battery, is a very somewhat small output over a very long period of time.
And wouldn't it be better, or isn't it better to have the deep cycle batteries as close to the electric motor with as less wire as possible, or as little wire as possible?
In an ideal world.
In an ideal world.
It would be nice to see a battery as close to the motor, but by using that 6-gauge wire, you're taking care of any problems that you may have with the batteries in the middle or in the back of the boat.
Okay. Now, we talked about bow mounts. What about the person who's got the smaller boat and needs a transom mount?
Let me show you, Tom.
Okay.
Tom, we've got transom mount motors that come in various sizes. The nice thing about them is they're very portable. They just clamp onto the back of the boat with the thumb screws. They come in 12-volt versions, 24-volt versions, pounds of thrust from 30 pounds up to 80-some pounds of thrust. 5-speed motors, variable speed motors, so they're enough that you can match a motor to about any size boat.
And the other thing too is this is generally, not always, but generally speaking, it's for some of the smaller boats that need a transom motor.
Correct.
That don't have a room up in the front. But I got to ask you one question. What is that thing?
Tom, this is a Torqeedo. It's an electric outboard that is made in Germany. Electric outboard, available in a couple different sizes, up to 48-volt, 9.9 horsepower.
Boy, they're always coming up with new things in electric motors, aren't they, John?
Sure are. Technologies are changing.
Well, John, thank you for bringing us here to Anchors Away and showing us all these different electric outboards. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
Each week again this season will feature a segment from one of our earlier years. This week we turn back the clock to 2002 to visit the Mukwonago workshop of chainsaw woodcarver Bob Younger. I wonder what he'd make out of this baby.
Running of the saw in itself is dangerous. The main thing is that, I'm using the saw in manners that it's not intended to be used. I do take off, the safety guards because it doesn't allow me to do the work I do, so that increases the risk. A lot of times too, when I'm dealing with a piece, I use the tip of the chainsaw probably 60 to 70% of the time. And that's where you usually get a lot of what they call kickback from the saw. And so that part's pretty dangerous. But, I don't recommend going out and taking your chainsaw and carving up a piece of wood that's, dead in your, lawn or something. You have to have a passion for it. You have to get the safety gear for it. And, it's the only way you can really do it safe and minimize. I mean, you're not taking out the risk, but you help minimize the risk of getting injured. I've always felt creative, but I didn't know where the outlet was. So I found it in the wood, and now it's just constantly growing. You find different avenues in the wood. There's so much you can do with it. So that's my creative niche, I guess. me, my work primarily is out of my store. You know, I work at my log lot and then move the pieces into the store for resale. But I do local shows that, you know, will demonstrate for that show or fair. You know, I also do like grand openings and promos for stores. You know, most of the pieces are things that just come out of my head and I try to put together into the lot. Sometimes just stock what I have on hand does, you know, force you to go and take a piece of log and, you know, I have to have a bear doing this or a perched eagle or something like that, and you just carve it. But it's kind of fun when you get a, you know, the piece of log that's, you know what's in it already. I mean, you can see, you know, a head, and then it's just a matter of creating the body to go with it. And it's fun then, because you're taking something that's natural and you're just bringing it out. The hand carving is fun, but I wanted to go on a bigger scale. And it's just like, wow, you know, you can do this with a chainsaw and you can get something big. The thing that I want to be known as is as a carver, not a guy with a chainsaw. And that's what I keep striving for as far as trying to improve with designs and just even the bears that I do. But it's mainly, it's a tool. It's not a chainsaw, you know, the connotations that brings up in one's mind. The little saw that we use, that has what they call a carving bar on it. That's an aftermarket product. And we run those for doing the detailing. And the one I use is a dime tip carving bar. So the radius at the tip of the bar is about the radius of a dime. So it, you know, allows you to get into the tight places, create lines, you know, do eyes, and so on. So it's really the only unique piece. Otherwise, it's just standard chainsaws. The one thing about the wood that I get is most of it's trees that are taken down or removed from areas where either it's in the way of a home, new home sites. A lot of it comes from, you know, people's backyards where maybe they had a windstorm and the top of the tree was topped off from the wind and they need to get rid of it because it's dead now. You know, I get some trees from parks where they have to thin, and it's more of a natural thing to promote the growth of the other trees. It's not like we're going into the forest and just butchering out trees. I mean, I don't believe in that. I'm using something that most people would, you know, throw out or would end up in landfill. Yeah, I'm still pretty new to the town yet, so there's still people finding me out. But I'd have to say the bears are probably the most popular thing, and I get the most comments on. People, when they walk into the store and they see a piece, you know, you'll see them laugh, or you know, they'll say, oh, is that neat? And I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. You know, granted, you know, yeah, I'm there to make a living, but it's not always the dollar that's important in this. And just the comments and watching kids go up and touch it, and it's a good feeling. So, and to know that somebody appreciates your work, that's a real nice feeling.
On Saturday, June 5th, I'll be at the first annual Kids Fishing Jamboree at Lake Delton. For more information on this event or this week's features, log on to our website, mptv.org, and follow the prompts to Outdoor Wisconsin. Well, next time, Judy Nugent fly fishes for trout in Iowa County with Craig Amaker of Fontana Sports. Debbie Wolniak, Bird Dogs photographer Mike Kosielniak at work photographing bird dogs. And we'll turn back the clock to 2003 as Debbie takes a ride in an amphibious amphicar. I'm Dan Small. Join us again next week for Outdoor Wisconsin.
Flash of a whitetail moving through the pine, the long vowl of the owl in the evening, loon on the lake, a muskie on the light. Outdoor Wisconsin, free yourself like an eagle in the air, feed yourself like a bear in the blackberry, like a hawk perch and stare. Outdoor Wisconsin, when the working life is way too much, when you're in too deep, way out of touch, lace up your boots, get out of town, take a walk in the wild, sit down and listen. Listen to the sounds of the critters of the night, to the wind and the leaves and the little river run, coyote brother howling in the full moonlight. Outdoor Wisconsin, hike, fish, hunt, camp, sail, canoe, ski, photograph, laugh, do what you want to, stick your nose where the wild rose grows. Outdoor Wisconsin, outdoor